Do you believe the American dream is still the white picket fence and home ownership and having all of those burdens of owning your own home? Here on the Money Vehicle Movement podcast, I'm Jedediah Collins, where we're trying to make financial literacy current and even a little bit cooler. The home ownership struggle is real today. Here's what most people do not tell you about owning a home. Since COVID, we have seen home prices go up nearly 40%, which for homeowners should be a good thing, right? Well, what most people do not tell you about a mortgage is that there are variable costs with it on top of your quote unquote fixed interest payments. Those costs are your property insurance and your property tax. When I look at a mortgage, it's PITI, principal, interest, tax, and insurance. I pity the fool who doesn't understand their PITI. Well, despite Mr. T and that terrible impression, we have seen an increase of 40% in the home's value. That is now reflected in an increase in the property's tax and even the property's insurance. Another cause for property insurance rising is the fact that providers are starting to pull out of certain geographic locations, which also causes premium prices to rise. Take myself, for instance. I just got a letter in the mail telling me our homeowner's insurance is not going to renew because the company is pulling out of our geographic area. You look down the other side of the country in Florida, for example, which has been hit by natural disasters to which the insurance companies see more and more risk. They also need more and more reward from your premium payments to even stay in the game, which, if you ask anybody who's living in Florida, homeowners insurance is not something easy to get these days. Okay, your home gaining value is not a bad thing. Don't let me discredit or confuse you there. While your home value may have gone up on paper, though, that does not help you make the cash payment for your mortgage, premiums, or any kind of cash need this month. So, yes, my home went up 100,000, $1 million, but that's on paper, and I don't use or get to use those dollars until I sell my home. Very similar to owning a stock. I don't make or lose any money until I sell. So, as we look at the rise in inflation creating an even tighter squeeze on your cash these days, we also have to take in consideration the rise in your insurance, your taxes, and other cash needs with the same predicament of no more cash being generated in the home's value going up. Today's auction.com estimates over 700,000 Americans are now far beyond and behind on their mortgage payments. Let me say that statistic one more time. 700,000 people who own a home here in the United States are now far behind on their mortgage payment. The number of people borrowing from a 401k, despite the taxes and penalties we discuss in Chapter 10, has risen, with people simply trying to stay afloat in their homes. And I say stay afloat because if you've ever heard somebody say, I'm underwater on my mortgage, that means I'm actually owing more on my mortgage than my home's value. Well, now the home's value is starting to rise, but again, the cash payment is rising with it. And maybe that does not equate. Even though the value is still in the home, you are having a tough time month to month, cash to cash. The other side of this coin is for people who are looking to buy or flip a house. One person's trash is another person's treasure, and the same can sadly be said about their struggle in home ownership. If you're looking for an opportunity to get a home or get an investment, very different. A home I live in, I wouldn't consider it an investment because it doesn't put money in my pocket, what we're discussing today. But a rental property, a flip, those are investments that should put money in my pocket. The rise in foreclosures today should be seen as an open market while also being seen as a warning sign. These people, these homeowners had the same thoughts you did when buying this property and are now struggling. But as you look at the opportunity, maybe they didn't buy at the right time, the right value, the right interest rate, the right scenario for them that you can change and take ownership of. Show people that you speak the language of money by staying ahead of your past choices and adjusting your plan as life throws you adjustments. Your home value going up is a good thing, but it's also adjusting your cash flows and needs of your plan today. Inflation. Nobody saw the amount of inflation coming. Your cash strategy and cash management plan, those money buckets, have to adjust along with it as you speak this language of money. Keep driving your money vehicle, and we will see you at the next stop.